not every day that a zookeeper went to prison for murder for hire.
This is Joe Exotic in the hit Netflix series Tiger King. Joe just mailed me this 4-page letter that says, I need your help so bad I can prove my innocence. Joe sent me names and numbers of people to contact.
When you got these two guys right here in your corner, trust me, you don't need anybody else.
I found out they're banding together to help Joe.
Joe Exotic 2020.
I'm telling you, Joe's innocent.
Like Texas private investigator Eric Love. With a tiger-wrapped Crown Victoria and a gigantic bus with Joe's face on the side,
The undisputed Netflix champion, Joe Exotic.
Eric is going big to send the message, pardon Joe Exotic.
You're going to really realize, holy crap, this guy's been a victim the whole time.
He wants to free the 57-year-old whose real name is Joseph Maldonado Passage. For almost 2 decades, Joe ran an exotic animal park in Wynnewood, Oklahoma. Not long after the park opened, I actually interviewed Joe when I worked as a rookie reporter in Ardmore 20 years ago.
My name's Joe Exotic, and this is thunder and this is lightning.
Joe's always been quite the showman, and the park was his stage.
You're really on it today, aren't you?
I knew that he was flamboyant. I knew that he had, at one time political aspirations.
I'm running for governor for the state of Oklahoma. He's a libertarian.
Boy, Joe knows animals, and Joe is a compassionate person.
It's all built on love, affection, and respect.
Eric says when he started watching Tiger King,
Hey, Dad.
his daughter, a criminal justice major, called him from college.
And she says, Dad, you got to get that case. You can help him.
With his background in law enforcement, Eric says he pulled out his laptop to look into Joe's case.
I thought, holy crap, there are a lot of problems here.
What problems did you see with the case right off?
How many witnesses did they call on Joe's behalf? 0. That alone was my biggest flag. And I thought, I want to start looking at the evidence.
Eric put together Team Tiger, a group of attorneys working for free to get Joe out of prison.
I contacted the attorneys that I love and trust, that I know they are out to right wrongs.
This will not leave my sight.
Armed with a 257-page petition,
This is somebody's entire life. This is their freedom.
Eric and his team
We are headed to Washington, D.C. We got some great entertainment on board.
I don't know. I've been told if you don't slow down, then you won't go.
drove 22 hours in this flashy bus across the country to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, baby! That's Washington, D.C. love right there, son.
A Joe Exotic extravaganza to get Donald Trump's attention.
Boy, this is something, son.
They stayed at Trump's hotel and parked outside the Capitol.
Ooh-wee, son, we in Washington, D.C. Looky, looky, looky. We at the White House.
They're asking for a presidential pardon.
Have you gotten any traction with President Trump?
Well, so I'll tell you, when somebody says, have you made an impression? We know that President Trump knows who we are, right? President Trump has mentioned Joe Exotic in a COVID-19 press conference that we all saw.
I'll take a look. Is that Joe Exotic? That's Joe Exotic.
In his letter to me, Joe wrote, I am not only asking President Trump for an immediate pardon, but I am also asking Governor Stitt to place a call to President Trump and ask him to sign my pardon. In 2018, before anyone saw Tiger King,
And nobody's going to tell me any otherwise.
Joe was convicted in federal court for shooting 5 tigers and hiring someone to kill his arch nemesis, animal rights activist Carol Baskin.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
Who runs Big Cat Rescue in Florida. Joe made his escalating feud with Carol well known on the internet. He thought Carol was trying to shut down his zoo.
Carol Baskin, the world's famous cat killer herself.
What does Joe tell you when you ask him, hey, did you hire that guy to kill Carol Baskin?
Well, so here's what he tells me. Absolutely not. I'm a victim.
Joe told me in his letter that he never had as much as a speeding ticket to be railroaded by a corrupt system as this. He wrote, my mom has died. Carol got my zoo.
The general public's only been told one side of the story.
Eric says his team is working to prove that Joe's trial was unfair.
When you taint a jury, the conviction's easy.
What makes you say the jury was tainted?
In any other case tried, the most serious charge is charged first.
The prosecution laid out all the charges, the wildlife crimes and murder for hire in the same case.
They tainted the jury by putting all of these other pieces in the front part of trying Joseph. That is wrong.
Eric says Team Tiger is gathering evidence.
All of this was suppressed evidence.
That he says will show Joe euthanized tigers for medical reasons and that he never planned to have anyone hurt Carol Baskin. But in court, the prosecution pointed out Joe wasn't discreet in his threats. He posted YouTube videos like this one.
Why Carol Baskin better never, ever, ever see me face to face ever, ever, ever again.
I asked the U.S. Attorney's Office in Oklahoma City for an interview, but they declined. They emailed, "The Department of Justice remains steadfastly confident that the court record, evidence, and trial testimony fully supports the correctness of the jury's verdict." Eric says he won't give up until Joe is free.
This case is going to be a case that it exposes a lot of ugly stuff.
He's so confident he has this limo on standby for Joe's release.
At the end of the day, I know that he's innocent. Our legal team knows that he's innocent. We want to gain Joe's freedom.
Joe ended his letter to me by writing, "Please help me." And then he signed Joe Exotic. Covering news that matters. Janna Clark, Fox 23 News.